Rebel and Soul's mission is to craft extraordinary memories, and we can only do that because of the inspirational talent, minds, and skilled individuals that we surround ourselves with. As a 100% female-founded and owned business, for the third series of 5 and 5, the focus is on the journeys of inspiring women and the experiences that have shaped them. Evelina Lai, can you share a little bit about what you do and what you've been working on, please?
I sure can. I lead the marketing for creators and entertainment and media across Instagram and Facebook. That's my day job. And then on the side, I'm the co-founder of Untamed, which is a Web3 community for women and non-binary people to learn, decode the Web3 space and truly celebrate women who are building and developing the new internet. So that's what I do.
Wow, that's amazing. What's one piece of advice you would share or would like to pass on to others?
So I've actually stolen this, which I think is always the best piece of advice. And I heard this from a Meta colleague a while ago, and I was like, yes, I'll take that. They said, be a lamp, a ladder, or a lifeboat. Try to be the best part of someone else's day. And for me, just is the advice that I would love to give to everyone. Illuminate, elevate, support others when they need it most. I think we tend to overvalue our own individual success, but over-investing in relationships, in helping others, I think that reward and fulfillment can come back tenfold. And I sometimes like to think about the legacy that I would like to leave behind. And what a mighty legacy if you show up consistently to make someone else's day better.
Wow, I love that. That's brilliant. And it works in all avenues of life, doesn't it, really?
Yeah. I love it too, which is the reason why I've stolen it.
Do you have a quote or I mean, I feel like that, could be used, but do you have a quote saying that you live by?
Yes, and it's different though. So that would be my piece of advice. My quote is about attitude. So your happiness is your attitude. Master your attitude, master life. The other version of that is life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. And I feel like life is going to throw you good things and not so good things. But the one choice that we have is our reactions and attitude towards those scenarios and those situations. So choosing to learn from difficult obstacles or challenges, seeing an opportunity, seeing growth is a quote that I try my best to live by. It's damn hard when something's not going your way. But it's so profoundly powerful if you can realize that mastering your attitude is a mastery of a great life.
Indeed. Okay. Is there something specific that inspires you?
Yes. I am consistently inspired by people who live beyond their story, who live beyond societal limitations and constructs that have been placed beyond them, or how they believe that their life should be. An example of this is just really recently, I had the privilege of watching this breakdance group, called Ill Abilities. They are a dance group of people who are differently abled. So they're challenged they've been thrown challenges, some of them can't walk, or they've been told they can never walk. They've been born this way, they've been discriminated against. And they, through their sheer grit and determination, they have proven to themselves that they can move their bodies. Wow. And this go and watch them. They are an international group, and I know that they tour around the world. But for me, it was so inspiring to see people living beyond what other people have told them they can't do. And that for me is always inspiring, and just goes to show that if you truly believe in yourself and you have the determination and the resilience to do it and show up consistently, then you can live life to your fullest potential, and you shouldn't believe anyone that says you can't.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. All right. If you had to do it all over again, is there anything that you would do differently?
Yes.
Right.
I think as you get older, you realize that even great choices, great decisions that you've made have a cost. Everything has an opportunity cost, as
Yes.
we like to call it, right? And for me personally, I chose years and years ago to move from London to Asia to live a life of new experiences, new interactions, exciting professional career, but it didn't come for free. That cost to me was actually living really far away from some of the people I love the most, missing out on some moments that are important in their lives, and they equally missed out on moments that were important in mine. So everything does come at a cost. If you choose to spend your time and focus or a decision on one thing, that does mean that you are choosing not to do another.
Yeah.
And realizing that for me is something that has been quite revolutionary, actually. And I think it's balanced me out a bit more, realizing that everything has a trade-off and understanding if you're now willing to make that trade-off. So how I do things differently is probably approach a decision a bit more mindfully, with a bit more intention. Is the decision aligned with the values and priorities of my life in that moment? And rebalancing. So that's what I would do differently.
Interesting. All right, last question. In the coming 5 years, what are your priorities?
Health. Health is like obviously the bedrock of everything.
Yeah.
We learned that obviously during the pandemic years. But I want to be a person who not only like jumps out of bed in the morning and is fully energized without a cup of coffee, but I'd like to be playing social tennis in my 60s. I'd like to be on a boat in my 70s. You know, I'd like to have an active life for a very long time. And that requires me to look after my health now. And health and energy is a priority. I also, a priority for me right now is living a life that's creatively aligned and has opportunities for discovery and curiosity. I have realized that being surrounded by creative people, involved in creative projects, and that's not necessarily in like the traditional form of arts, but in just brainstorming and just talking about new ideas, I feel like I'm the best version of myself. Like that's when I feel most in flow, when I feel most alive, when hours can go by and I don't even count the clock. And so I want to tap into more of those opportunities. I want to say yes to more opportunities that allow for curiosity and creativity. And less pressure on myself, I think, another priority, like less pressure to succeed in again, like what society has said you must do. Being kinder to myself is something that I'm trying to, even with these questions, for example, I read them and I thought to myself, okay, I've got to come up with something really, really good. Hang on, like you can just be yourself. You can just talk from the heart. You can just say what comes to your mind without putting this external pressure, which is actually coming from me. So that for me is really important, just to put less pressure on myself. And then fourth, I think, which ties into kind of what I would do differently, is really focusing on family now is something that is a massive priority for me, and something that I'm just hoping to spend more time with my family, talk to them more, make more of an effort, share, and be close to them in general. So those are mine.
Well, lucky them, because you are really inspiring and wonderful. And thank you so much for sharing all this valuable wisdom. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Ev.
Thanks, Tash.